Okay, on we go with episode 6 of the Eurosport. We've got the elevons all working matched as elevators and ailerons in the up travel direction. So now we're going to set the down travel by using the servo setup. So we go into menu, model, servo setup, along to aileron 1, aileron 2. Remember, I've got my metering list here on ailerons 2 and 3, so I'll set those up and once again visually set up elevons 1 and 4. Okie doke. So we're happy we're in aileron 2. We'll come down, ignore the big sub trim. I've had to use sub trims here just to replicate various things, but I'm sure you would do your model properly by adjusting the position of the clevises so you don't use sub trims. Okay, on to the positive and negative travel values. So if I click on here and I pull up and down, you see the box automatically jumping to whichever is the correct value. So I'll push down, there we go. Now I'm going to be watching my meter here and I'm going to adjust that value until I get the correct down travel. It's gone a little bit red, and so we want less travel there. There we go, my little meter's turned green. I've got the correct down travel. That's it. Now I'll come along. If I press the right hand button, I don't have to come out of this. The right hand button moves along to aileron 3. I'll just double check that. See, it's a different, because the different side of the aircraft, it's the negative value we're changing here. So I'll push that. I look at my meter down here, it's in the red. So I want to bring that value up. Be very careful not to introduce any aileron in this stick when you're holding in the full up or down. There we go, that's turned green. The actual numbers jittering about the same. There we go. Beautiful. So that is both sides matched perfectly for up and down travels. It should still be up okay because we've not changed those. Yes, perfect. So the two inner elevons are perfectly matched for elevator. So what I'll do now is just come along to aileron 4 and we'll go to its down travel, and I'm going to visually match it now to aileron 3. I'm just watching it. Here we go. And if we come back now to aileron 1, again I'm just going to visually match its down travel. That looks good to me. So back to neutral now. Is this all working? If I pull full up, my two little meters here should show the same numbers. The line should turn green. And then if I actually look out on the wing at the two outer elevons, they should be visually matched. Again, make sure I've got no aileron being held in there. There we go. So the Zikoi meter is showing good. Visually, they're showing good. I'll go full down, move the stick, make sure I've absolutely got no aileron in there. Again, the Zikoi meter is showing good for 2 and 3, and visually looking at 1 it matches 2, 4 matches 3. Perfect. So I've got perfectly set up elevator travel. And what else might I want to do? Well, let's go to half travel and see if anything needs tweaking there. What I'm going to do is look at the inner elevon on the left side, which is aileron 2, and I'm going to pull half elevator stick and see if aileron 1, which is the outer, matches it. So about there. No, it doesn't. So I'll show you what's going on here. You just look at those two trailing edges. I'll pull part way. Come around here, we might see it a bit better. Get the wire out of the way. You see there's a mismatch part way, so that's where we're going to use the servo balancer. So come down here, part way is about there, there. Yeah, I'm visually watching the surfaces now. Where's the biggest mismatch? It's at about that stick, which conveniently is at that point there. So I need to come into servo balancer. Auto is switched on, which means that the point that will be changed follows the stick. See that? So that's good. So I'll put it there, and I will visually turn the numbers until I see something matching. I think I need to come this way. That's it. There we go. Yeah. Problem is, it's affected that point there, which is our neutral point. So now the centers are out. So I'll come back here. I'll send that back to 0. And I'm going to switch auto off. And what it will now do is pull just that point alone. So you see the shape of the curve is totally different, so it doesn't affect the other points. There we are. And I'll go down. Downwards. Yeah, that needs tweaking too. Go to that point there. So I now press the programming button, come along to that point there, and that can go. I'm just visually matching here, there. That's much better. The two surfaces are matching each other as we go along. Say okay to that one. Let's have a look at the other side, which will be, we'll use aileron 4. I'll use aileron 3, which we've set up as the reference. Auto, we'll switch auto off so that we get the V-shaped curve rather than the rounded curve. I'll push the stick. Actually going downwards is pretty good. Oh, upwards has a big lag in it. About there. So if I press the programming dial, the programming point will jump from there to there, because that's the one we're obviously after. There we go. I'll put the stick about there and see which way do we have to turn it. There. Need it a bit more yet. And there we go. Go for the downwards one. I say no, that one was correct anyway. So now all 4 elevons are matched beautifully up, down and at the midpoints. So I will not get any roll when I pull or push the elevator. Super duper. Now what about the aileron? If I move that, yep, they're close enough matched, and if I move it that way, they are close enough matched visually that I've got no problem with that. The very important one to get exactly balanced and matched was the elevator. So there we go, that's those ones done. What else can we look at? Well, I mentioned about the rudder trim in the last one. I assigned it to the nose wheel steering, so let's go and confirm that. I will show you the rudder, and I will hold down the rudder trim button. And as you can see, the rudder is not moving. I'll bring the trim all the way back to the middle. Let's look at the nose leg. Here we are. And now I'll move the trim. I wonder if we'll see it working. There you can see the trim actually working on the nose leg. You don't have to do it that way, that's just the way I prefer to do it on my jets. Okie dokie. And there's no air in the system, but you remember I think we've programmed that when the wheels are up, the steering stops working. So there's the steering. If I move the retract switch to the up position, we'll find out if we've programmed it. Now I'll move the steering. Oh, yep, it's still going, so we haven't programmed it. So we come across here, menu, fine tuning, dual rate expo, steering. Yep, so what we're going to do is come down to the switch, press the switch, I'll move the retract switch to the up position, OK to that, come back here, and with the switch in the up position, set that to 0, switch in the down position, 100% travel, come back and check it. So gear down, steering works, gear up, steering's disabled. Good. That's that bit done. Let me have a little look at my checklist and see what else we need to do. Right, and we've reached, what, 11 minutes, so I think what we'll do is we'll stop there and we'll move on to the next episode, because in this one we've got our all travels all beautifully matched up, and the next episode's very much going to be about setting up the telemetry, setting up the alarms, the gear failsafe and that kind of thing. So we'll see you for the next one.